One of my favorite things in the garden is definitely comfrey. Now I do have to do a side note to that because there's two types of comfrey. There's one that is like a weed. It just takes right over. And I'm not so fond of that one because it literally grows everywhere. So make sure when you're purchasing comfrey, a comfrey plant, that you're planting the right thing. There's two types. One is like a weed, it's going to go everywhere. And the other one will just be, you know, just a little bit more calm. So one thing I love about comfrey is using it as a fertilizer. And I want you to come along with me so we can do it together. So these beautiful comfrey leaves are full of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are three minerals that your plants absolutely need to thrive in your garden. So we're going to cut some of these leaves and you're going to see what we do with them. Surprise, surprise. So believe it or not, I just planted some beautiful peppers in the garden and I want to put comfrey leaves around the pepper plants to protect them from weeds, because if you do no-dig gardening, you want to put something down as soon as you plant, because then the weeds will not grow. And why not put comfrey? Because of all the minerals it has, and it gives such beautiful essential nutrients to the soil. So you can see how much I love comfrey because I have it all over my garden, because there are so many uses for it. But today we're going to use it as a beautiful fertilizer for our pepper plants, and also we're going to use it to deter weeds from growing. So if you notice, as I'm pulling, I'm not pulling these little tips that are going to flower, because I want, you know, I want the comfrey to have its stages. So I just want to take the leaves because that's all I need. You don't want to take more than you need from a plant. That is something I learned from my cousin Wendy. So I have just planted these pepper plants, and I'm going to take this beautiful comfrey and I'm just going to lay it around the pepper plants so that I can protect the plants from weeds. And also I'm giving the plants much needed nutrients. So you just tuck them around the pepper plants. That will keep the weeds down. It will also give much needed soil nutrients like potassium, nitrogen, and phosphorus to your pepper plants. Does nature know what she's doing, right? So you can hardly see the pepper plants because I've put comfrey everywhere around them. There's one little guy, and then here's another. And then all the way around the pepper plants is comfrey. Now that's going to give you your phosphorus, your nitrogen, your potassium, everything that plants need to grow. And it also doesn't take nitrogen from the soil. So it's a beautiful, think of comfrey as a fertilizer. That's what it is. It's awesome. It gives you everything you need. Now this comfrey is going to keep the weeds down, help keep the weeds down, give nutrients to the soil, and it'll decay over time, and that's good. And then we'll just check and maybe put some more comfrey in later when it's decaying too far. But this is awesome. It'll make your soil beautiful. And this is what you do when you don't want to dig or till. Comfrey, nature's fertilizer. I love it. On a side note, you might think, you know, this is a lot of extra work. Well, what you're doing is you're working a lot less, because you're doing the work at the beginning when you're planting your plants, but you're not doing as much weeding. No-dig gardening brings your weeding down to very, very little. So you're actually saving time in the long run. But yes, at the beginning, you're definitely going to put some work into it because you want to, you know, put something on the soil to detract the weeds. But in the long run, you're going to spend less time. So it's all good. So that beautiful plant comfrey that has so many medicinal uses is a wonderful fertilizer for your garden, a natural fertilizer. So I highly recommend gardening with Comfrey, just don't forget, get the right one, not the one that acts like a weed and grows everywhere, because you know, the love will kind of fade after a while. So you have a good day.